Hello internet, it's been a while, huh? So it's been a while since I've seen you. I have some updates for you about Nala, and I want to talk about why I've been off social media for the last couple months. But first I want to talk about today's video where I borrow my girlfriend's horse Doc and try riding him Western for one of the first times ever. In just a few short days, we have a clinic with Johnny Flores. This clinic is all about ranch riding and ranch trail, which I'm really interested in, and I think Doc is going to have a really fun time with it. I am also going to trot Nala for the first time in almost 2 months. It has been that long since I've sat on my horse, so if you want to see how that turned out for us, stick around. Before we get into the video though, let me give you my updates on Nala and what's been going on with her. So back in February, Nala unfortunately started rearing under saddle again after the body work that I had done, and it was worse than it was before. So I got the vet out and I had the vet look her over, and that was a scary vet visit because Nala reared up the highest I have ever experienced with her during that visit. So obviously I didn't want to put myself or Nala in danger, so I haven't ridden her basically at all in the last 2 months. I've spent that time getting her looked at by different vets, getting blood work done, having her physically examined, all of this different stuff to make sure that I am addressing this as thoroughly as I possibly can. So far, I have 3 different vets involved in her care, and I'm really grateful for their support in this process as we try and figure out what's up with Nala, because nothing has come back, quite conclusive with any of the exams that we've done. Her physical didn't come back conclusive. I had her tested for Lyme and EPM and granulosa cell tumors, which are uterine tumors, to see if there was a hormonal issue at play. The Lyme and the granulosa cell tumors came back negative, but her EPM titer came back high enough that I decided to treat that. So right now I'm currently treating her for EPM in addition to working with the chiropractor and my other vets to make sure that I am setting her up for success physically and that she isn't in pain anywhere else in her body. I know this is turning into kind of a long update section, but before I get into the video, I did want to talk for a minute about mental health, because mental health has been probably the biggest thing keeping me away from social media. I'm gonna be straight up, this entire situation with Nala has put me on a bit of a depressive spin. Something that I know about myself is that when situations get challenging for me, I tend to kind of curl up like a hedgehog and puff out and not really let anybody, see what's really going on with me. It's hard for me to admit that I'm struggling with something. It's very easy for me to, instead of, talking to people about it, just disappear off the face of the earth for a couple weeks. I kind of put restrictions on myself from opening up Instagram or YouTube or anything. I struggled a lot seeing other people able to enjoy their horses and, even just doing something like walk, trot, canter. I was getting angry because that seemed really far away for Nala and I. So obviously that's not healthy, and I made the choice to look out for myself and take a step back from posting. It's been hard to enjoy the barn knowing that Nala's, not feeling great, or, that I'm considering medically retiring her at the age of 10. That's been really hard to sit with. And I also want to take a moment to talk about caretaker burnout, because that's a really real thing with horses, and I don't think that people ever really talk about it. I think a lot of people assume that it only has to do with, someone that you're caring for, like a person that you're caring for, but it can come up a lot with animals, and I've been feeling it a lot with everything that Nala has been going through, because I have been making vet calls, specialist calls, scheduling appointments, looking at diagnostic procedures, making the decision to get diagnostic procedures done or not done, figuring out treatment plans, going back and forth with the vet about okay, how do you interpret this result from this test? What's your recommendation for this? Figuring out the finances. The finances have been huge. I'm really lucky to be in a position where I have been able to afford the care that Nala's needed so far. But, I'm not rich. I don't have unlimited money available to me. And I've had some really frank conversations with the vet before about, what diagnostics I can and can't afford to get into. So all of that just weighs so heavily on you. And when you own a horse, you are the only person responsible for that horse's care and keeping. No one else can make those decisions for you. And it's hard. It sucks. So if you're in a similar boat to me right now, I want you to know, I know where you're coming from. I know how much this sucks. And I know that you're doing everything you can for your horse. Even if you don't feel like it is, you're doing what you can with the resources that you have. And I think that that is the best that anyone can ask for. Also, if you need to take time away from social media, I get it. I obviously have been there. You need to look out for what's most important to you, but also at the same time, don't let this keep you away from your friends and your support system, because they are the ones who are going to have your back through this whole thing. I would really like to get back into making more videos because those are a source of joy for me, and I think I need to get back into doing things that make me joyful after spending so much time and energy over the last few months trying to be really pragmatic and make the right choices for me and my horse. So yeah, stay tuned for a vlog of the clinic when that rolls around. I am so excited for that. I cannot wait to go and experience it and share that all with you guys. And if you're still here watching, enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so first off, I apologize for the framing here. I literally could not find an angle that would let me fit all of Doc in frame. Doc's been in a couple of my videos since I moved to California, but I don't usually post videos of me working with him directly. So for those of you who don't know him, this is Doc. Also, please forgive my saddle throwing technique here. I know it sucks. I promise I've gotten better. He's 17, he's over 17 hands, and he's my partner Kelsey's former competition horse from when she was a junior. Doc, up until about 2 weeks ago, has only ever been ridden in an English saddle, so he has been a very good sport while I've figured out his setup. I got on thinking my stirrups were still going to be good from the last time I rode in it, but I remembered that Kelsey got on Doc after me last time, and yeah, she's 6 feet tall. To any Western riders watching this, I would really love to know why it's so hard to adjust Western stirrups from the saddle. They are such a pain in the butt. Fun fact, they don't make Western saddles for horses built like Doc. He's very long and has a huge shark fin wither, so finding a saddle that fit him took a little bit of work. I think this was maybe 4th, 5th saddle I tried on him. Now that I can actually reach my stirrups, it's time to get to work. My major goal for this ride was working on collection with Doc, because that's something that he struggles with a little bit because he's very long and a little bit out of shape. And it's something that I struggle to ask him for because I am very short and I can't really get the leverage that Kels can when she's sitting on him. I've only sat on Doc a handful of times, even though I've known him for the last 5 years, so I know what his buttons are, but figuring out how to actually press them was another question. The hardest thing for us was getting a collected canter going. Doc has a big stride and he's capable of doing a lot of collection, but he's also very heavy in the hand, so I was really walking a line of making sure that I had enough leg on to send him forward while still keeping that rein contact that he needed to collect. I like where we ended though. I think we ended on a good note there. And then to finish, I ran through a ranch pattern that I had found online. I'll put it up on screen here and I'll talk you guys through it. So the pattern had us tracking right to start, and then once we got through the corner, we were supposed to pick up a trot, and then it was trot about halfway up the long side and turn through the center, and then halt and side pass. Now, Doc, I don't think has ever actually been asked to side pass without some forward motion. He has very good lateral cues, but they're all going forward and going sideways at the same time, not just going sideways, so we had to figure that out. Next up, we had to do a 360-degree spin both ways. Probably should have dropped my stirrups to try these because I can get my leg around Doc's barrel better that way. We also try not to ask him for too much lateral work on a regular basis because he has an old tendon injury in his left hind, so we try not to put too much stress on that. But little stuff like this is okay. And then my pivot went rogue and swung way away from me. I don't know what happened there, but what happened next was we picked up a jog and then picked up a collected canter in the corner, and we were supposed to hold a collected canter all the way across the top of the arena, and then extend the canter, come across the diagonal, and do a lead change, simple or flying. I opted for a flying change because Doc has really clean ones, and I enjoy riding them. After a lead change, when we reached the wall, we were supposed to collect the canter and then break down into an extended trot, and then halt, and then back. And then that was the end of the pattern. Our backing could have been a little bit more square, but we're working on this for fun, and that's something I can work on next time. Just cooling Doc out now. We just finished our ride. He was really, really good. I'm riding him on hard mode today because usually he's a spur and dressage whip kind of ride, especially for me because I have short legs and short arms. but I forgot to grab a dressage whip and I forgot to put spurs on. So we did it the hard way today, and actually he was very good. Yeah, just fun. We tried a ranch pattern for the first time today, and it's definitely the kind of stuff that he's good at. Like, it's super technical, a lot of bending, some changes of direction. I don't think he's ever been asked to just like straight do a leg yield to the side before, so that was a little bit of a negotiation. But yeah, I'm gonna let him finish cooling out, and then it's Nala's turn. I'm giving up on my bangs looking presentable for this. But anyway, I'm taking you guys with me to go get Nala, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to tell you what the plan with her is. So I've been slowly building up her riding again, starting with sitting on her bareback for like 5-10 minutes at a time. And then yesterday I tacked her up for the first time in 7 weeks, and we just walked around, brushed the rust off our lateral work, all that fun stuff. So today I'm gonna grab her and we're gonna do kind of the same deal, except I'm gonna have Kelsey put me on a lunge line at the end and we're gonna try trotting. I'm just gonna sit there and dummy it. I also wanted to show you Nala's new living situation. Nala, say hi! That's Nala, and then her new friend Luz right there. And Nala moved out to this paddock in February, so she lives out here full-time with her friend. And Nala was not super sold on it originally. She has never been the most personable horse, and Luz is very much like a little sister kind of character. Yeah, Nala was not super jazzed about that at first, but now they're friends. I love this little paddock because it has the shelter up there with a windbreak on it too, which is really nice. There's a lot of room, there's water in the corner there, and a hay net for Nala there. And then our other hay net that they're obsessed with over here. I have acquired a Nala and I have acquired a Kelsey. I think Nala really likes it over here. She's gotten a lot more settled than she was when she first arrived, which is lovely. A lot less spooky, a lot less reactive. And she's not the kind of horse who will go out and make friends, but I think she needs friends anyway. So I'm glad that Luz can kind of do that for her and not be put off by how Nala tends to be. Welcome. Yeah, gonna get Nala brushed up and then I'll see you in the ring. I said in one of my last videos that Nala being grouchy and fussy on the cross ties was reason for me to call the vet, and this is why. Obviously I've still been brushing her and taking care of her while we're figuring all this medical stuff out, so it's not like she's been sitting. But if you look at this clip and then look at the clip that I included in the last video that I made, you can see just how big of a difference there is. Nala is content on the cross ties and happy to just hang and be groomed and loved on in a way that I have rarely seen from her. This is the medication that Nala's been getting to treat her EPM. It's called Marquis, and it's a paste like a warmer. Good girl. This also, I think, is another sign that Nala's feeling better, because for as long as I've had her, she's always been some kind of sour and girthy, and the fact that she's as relaxed and calm as she is now, I think speaks volumes. Also, if anybody has any tips for throwing Western saddles, please let me know. I am 20 years late to this game, and it is a whole new world. I'm also going to tell you a little bit more about what I've been working on with her while she's been out of ridden work. I've been trying to keep her fitness up and keep her brain working, so we've been doing a lot of groundwork. I subscribed to Mary Hackett's Patreon a couple weeks ago, and I've been working my way through the groundwork there. We're starting to get the very beginnings of a haunches in hand, which is really neat. I've also been doing some long lining and the occasional lunge to keep her fitness up, as well as a bunch of hand walks around the property. Also, side note, shout out to my pivo. I remembered to hit record this time, guys. I am very proud of myself. Obviously, Kelsey and I were both focused on Nala this whole time and didn't have any hands to video. So I'm really glad that I had my pivo and I was able to set it up and get this captured on camera. Alright, I'm gonna shut up now and I'm gonna let you guys see for yourselves how Nala felt about starting under saddle again. Good morning. It's now Sunday and we ran out of daylight last night to get organized, so we are gonna go do that now. This is my new trunk. As you can see, it's barely got anything in it. I brought this rolly cart from home and we're gonna use it for probably bath stuff and like miscellaneous first aid that we don't use every single day. So yeah, let's get organizing. Hey, don't run me over, thank you. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching and stay tuned. I'm gonna try and get back in the habit of making stuff now that Nala and I are doing something a little bit more interesting. Moose. Girlfriend. See you later, guys. Let's see how we feel about that.
Honestly, better than I was expecting. Better than I feel about celery, to be honest.
Oh, they see me.
It's so yummy. Alright, I'm gonna see if Doc likes it.
Weirdo.